Okay, you are setting up your online school through Teachable and you want to connect up your domain name that you're holding through Namecheap, and you want to have those records pointing across so that your domain name that you've bought, in this case generouscourses.com, will point across to your Teachable school, and that it means that someone coming to the homepage will come to generouscourses.com and someone coming to a course page will have that same address with / the course name after. So that's what we're looking to set up, and at the same time I'm going to be linking up my email with a tool called Help Scout, which is one of my favorite email software systems. If you're looking for a way of kind of automating some of the email processes, or you've got quite a few domain names and businesses and side projects that you're running, it's such a handy way of having multiple inboxes that I just recommend it to pretty much everyone. So let's go through the settings that you'll need in Namecheap. So we've got the name here. I just tag it as keep because I've got some domains that I purchased and I thought I was going to do something, but I've put those under the word expire. Going down the list here, I set up the auto renew for both the domain name and also I've got WhoisGuard. Just means you cut down on a bit of spam by having that on there as well. In terms of name servers, leave this one as basic DNS. If you ever wanted to move across to, say, WordPress for any of your projects, or even for this particular domain name, you can move that across to your Namecheap web hosting DNS. Now, once you've done that, it is going to kind of switch off this email redirect, and you'll have to jump across to your cPanel login to be able to actually go and change those records. So for some of you, this is like completely foreign language, but to people who are a little bit accustomed with being able to set up WordPress, then you'll know that switching that across will mean that you can update both your email settings and this advanced DNS settings will all happen within cPanel. So that's if you've clicked on web hosting DNS. But for the moment, what we're doing is we're setting it up so that we're going to be able to connect up this with Teachable. We're not self-hosting, it's going across to Teachable that's hosted on their servers, and we're also going to redirect our email. So the first thing we've got here is just redirecting any traffic that comes through without the www on the front across to the version that has www. So you can add those records in here. And in terms of redirecting email, if you have gone over to Help Scout, they usually have a kind of rundown for adding in the email address that you want to use, and then you click and say whether you want to invite anyone else, and then it's got this particular email address. So all you're doing is copying that, coming back over, and you set up what the alias is actually just the first part of the email. So in my case, it's rich at. So I just put in a rich, and then I copy across that Help Scout email address. So that just means that all the email that comes through to this address will get forwarded into that email inbox. So you can see how simple it would be to go add more forward it on here, and it could be like courses at, and it could be support at, sales at, all those different ones, and it means that across in Help Scout I can see which emails are coming into which email inbox, and they can have different email signatures. So many great things. One last thing on this particular page is that there's a parking page showing down the bottom, so I would just turn that off right here. And that's just when you go and purchase a domain, it shows up right there, that's just default switched on. They've got a parking page, which is generally just a kind of Namecheap promotion. Now, you won't have any products on here apart from maybe you might have bought the SSL security certificate, or you could have hosting. So that's where that would show up. Across in sharing and transfer, that's for if you wanted to sell your domain name. And the next one we're going across to is the advanced DNS. Now, if we go across into Teachable and you go to site and to domains, so you'll see theme up the top. So site at the moment is the third one down, and then click on domains. What you're going to be wanting to do is, first thing, you'll have the new domain, which they'll often set up when you first start your school. So in this case, generouscourses.teachable.com. And then I've also created another one. I clicked in new domain and I typed in, now this is important, the www.generouscourses.com. So it's www.your domain name address there. So that'll be unverified. But then if we come back over here, what we're doing is we're setting up and we're going to add in. So you're clicking on this add a new record. We're adding a Cname record. So if you click on here, see how that's an option, a record, Cname record. You add in the Cname record, and then you add in the www and then generouscourses.teachable.com. It just means that anyone who enters in the www and your domain name address will get taken through to here. So that's the connection that you've got here. In terms of this redirect, that's just the record that's showing up from that front page. It's redirecting the straight domain name from here down across to this address. So you've got that one as well. And the final one on Help Scout, they say in terms of verifying your email, you can add in a text record with an @ symbol as the host, and you paste this across. So if I come to connection settings in here, it just says to add this in. So that means once I've done that, Help Scout is completely set up. You don't need to change anything else down below. So this is all set up. Now, like I was saying before, it's usually overnight in terms of getting all those records updated behind the scenes to make it so it's all connected up. Then you jump back over into Teachable, into Site, Domains, and then you click on the little button that's going to show up here. Oh yeah, check domain here. And it'll say verified on there. And then you can make this one your primary. And you can have this one redirect, but I usually wouldn't, just because in case you've got any issues with this one, you can always log in still with this one here. So I hope that gives you a good idea about setting up your Teachable school using Namecheap, and also the added bonus of being able to set up Help Scout as well.